just like the thousands of migrants and refugees crossing the southern borders, we Asians cross many seas and oceans to immigrate to the United States. Emigrating from our motherland due to poverty, militarization.
Protesters in support of the Asian American and Pacific Islander community gathered near the intersection of Main Street and University Avenue in solidarity to honor the victims of the Atlanta spa shootings.
Oh, today is about hate crimes against Asian Americans, Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders. It is in solidarity, with other groups of people here in Riverside across the spectrum. I'm here because I'm just so sick and tired of reading the news and feeling paralyzed and not doing anything. And I actually just last week I held a rally and a vigil right outside Eastvale City Hall in the city of Eastvale.
It's about standing in solidarity against the hate and the xenophobia and the racism that we have suffered for decades as a community, and really in light of the Atlanta shootings, and then recently, and of course the Colorado shootings, and then recently the Riverside nail salon that received that hate mail. We want to stand up and say enough is enough. We can do so much better.
Anti-Asian hate crimes has risen 149% in 2020, according to the Center for the Study of Hate and Extremism at California State University, San Bernardino. In Riverside, the AAPI community have also been affected by this increase in hate crimes, the most recent being a Riverside business owner receiving a hate-filled letter telling them to leave the United States.
A nail salon was targeted with a very hateful letter, and it's definitely in response to the murders of 6 Asian women in Georgia. I think that crime has awakened people everywhere in our country, and I think it's focused attention not just on what happened in Georgia, but what many people believe, what I believe, led to those murders.
Well, since the start of the pandemic, I'm very fortunate to have been able to stay at home for the most part. But I know many people, especially business owners, who don't have the luxury to just stay at home and have been going out and about, and they have experienced discrimination. And Jackie, the story of Jackie and her mom, the business owner here in Riverside who received a hate letter in the mail, that's happening right in our backyard. And to say that it's not happening, it's not true. It's just because it's not happening to me personally in this past year doesn't mean it's not happening to other people. Someone said that COVID-19 is the China flu, it's the Kung flu, and unfortunately that person had the level of visibility that made people out there aware and believe that. And in fact, this is a flu that was created somewhere else, ended up there, ended up everywhere else.
Community leaders agreed that a variety of changes need to occur at a local level to protect the AAPI community.
At the local level, I think we need to review the extent to which we have outreach into the different AAPI communities. We need to understand whether law enforcement has the capacity to be able to communicate in those languages. What kind of outreach are they doing? We need to, I think, connect law enforcement agencies to better resources so that they can do that.
A few changes that need to be made. One is the curriculum. We need to meet people where they are, and we need to be able to educate people about the experience, the story, the history of Asian American community. And we need to be able to do that in K-12 curriculum. But not only that, right? We need to make sure that AAPI workers and businesses are being protected. We need to make sure that we have funding for the AAPI community.
I think municipalities and communities, neighborhoods could do more to educate people in general, right? Who is this? I think if we start sharing cultures, particularly if we start sharing food, people get closer, right? I understand that, and I think You know, it seems like those are little things that might be unimportant, but if you don't know somebody, you can do anything to them because you don't even look at them as a person. But once you start to know someone, then you're reluctant, you know, you would feel guilty if you did something with them. And I think that cities can start to encourage more of that community gathering, coming together.
And then of course our lawmakers at the local level have to support us. They have to hear us. When we say something, believe AAPI women, believe the AAPI community, because we're crying for help. We've been crying for the last year. So change will come when they hear us, they listen to us, and they act on it.
For Viewpoints, this is Daniel Hernandez.